Amidst the chuckles, a dying millionaire, with just 2 months left to live, took 3 little girls from the streets into his heart. Twists of destiny were poised to flip their tale on its head. Journey together. Share your location in the comments. You delight in discovering the places my audience hails from. Heart of a San Francisco penthouse. Samuel Whitaker, a reclusive tech magnate who had crafted a trillion-dollar empire, found himself alone at the age of 50. The haunting phrase "2 months left" reverberated in his mind, a cruel whisper that lingered the silence around him. His mahogany desk, casting a shadow that loomed over the polished surface like an unsettling omen. A relentless quest, pursuing the elusive trio of innovation, power, and perfection. Yet, throughout all those years, he had never genuinely experienced life. A decade had slipped by since his beloved wife succumbed to a rare illness. Lives, the echoes of laughter and the pitter-patter of tiny feet were absent. Night, as he made his way back from a charity event that felt devoid of purpose, Samuel instructed his driver to take an alternate path. To 3 young girls, Grace, Lily, and Aurora, barely 10, nestled together under a humble canopy of tarps and cardboard. Eyes of the world, moments shrouded in mystery. Samuel chose a path that would alter the course of their lives for eternity. The night, depths of his being, he sensed that this was the dawn of an adventure that transcended his own existence. The stillness within Samuel Whitaker's mansion felt strange and foreign now. Rather than reverberating through vacant marble corridors, it was sometimes interrupted by gentle laughter, swift footsteps, or the delicate clinking of assorted teacups in the kitchen. For days had slipped by since Grace, Lily, and Aurora arrived. What began as a single night had subtly transformed into something deeper. From the balcony of his penthouse, Samuel observed them with keen interest. At the age of 12, Grace stood as a vigilant guardian, her heart brimming with fierce protectiveness and a keen eye for the shadows of doubt lurking in every corner. Lily, at the tender age of 10, possessed a vivid imagination and an unyielding spirit that echoed the essence of his own youthful days. Aurora, the youngest at just 7, carried an air of silence about her, seldom uttered a word unless it was truly essential. Yet, they shared a profound bond, the knack for resilience, the will to endure, and a deep-seated compassion for one another, resembling a family crafted through trials and tribulations. On that bright morning, Samuel stumbled upon them, perched cross-legged in the expansive living room, savoring their cereal while engrossed in a captivating nature documentary. Aurora had wrapped a blanket around her shoulders, transforming it into a majestic cape. Samuel took a moment to gather himself, a flutter of uncertainty stirring within him. Today, I have orchestrated a visit from the doctor. Merely a routine visit. What is the reason? Grace inquired with a flat tone. All is well. There's no need for uncertainty, Samuel replied. It's important for you to understand that you are in good health. With a moment's pause, Grace finally gave a single, decisive nod. In a moment that felt charged with anticipation, the doctor made their entrance. Thus, the inquiries emerged. Thus, the fear took hold. Samuel observed the girl stiffen at the sight of the medical apparatus. Lily recoiled at the tightening embrace of the blood pressure cuff. Aurora's eyes welled with tears at the sight of the syringe. They've endured a journey, the doctor said softly when the exams were complete. There's a deeper tale than what's been shared. On that fateful night, Samuel found himself unable to drift into slumber. The diagnosis reverberated once more. 2 months. He lingered at the threshold of the girls' makeshift sanctuary, observing their peaceful slumber. With an arm wrapped around Lily and a gesture of guardianship, Grace stood firm, while Aurora held her book close, as if it were the very essence of her being. They were meant for a different path, one far removed from the shadows of the streets. They were meant for brighter places, not the shadows of shelters or the neglected nooks of the city. They were meant to be a part of this place. Alongside him, the choice emerged not from a thunderous revelation, but from a steadfast determination. The following morning, he reached out to his lawyer. "I wish to initiate the process of guardianship," he declared. "Just for one little one?" "No, for each of the three." A silence lingered in the air. "Samuel, given your situation?" "Precisely. Due to my circumstances, I refuse to be merely a fleeting mention in the annals of commerce. I long to hold significance in someone's life. For a fleeting moment, perhaps." As the day unfolded, Samuel gathered the girls in the warm embrace of the sunlit atrium. "I wish to welcome you into my life," he expressed with sincerity. Grace's expression grew tense. "What is the reason?" "You have no idea who we are." Samuel locked eyes with her. "Indeed, you have a point. Yet, I understand the sensation of being invisible, as if no one truly acknowledges your presence. And I yearn to transform that for each and every one of us." Aurora murmured, "Will you depart like the rest?" "No," he declared with conviction. "Not while I still draw breath. My battle is far from over." At that instant, a transformation occurred. It was not the fullness of trust, yet it marked the dawn of something new, a start that took them all by surprise. Only a week after Samuel sent in the first adoption papers, the headlines erupted with fervor. A tech titan on the brink of collapse embraces street girls, a publicity stunt, or a journey to redemption. Images of Grace, Lily, and Aurora, captured through a telephoto lens from outside the Graham mansion, dominated the tabloids and news feeds, weaving a tale that captivated the public's imagination. A tale had slipped through the cracks, whispered beyond its intended audience. The vast expanse of the internet, ever opinionated, had something to say. He's preparing successors to sidestep taxes. Yet another tale of a billionaire grappling with the complexities of midlife. Where were these girls when he could have used a little lift in his image? Samuel remained motionless in his study, his gaze locked onto the screen, a tempest of rage simmering just beneath his calm facade. The girls were young souls, not mere pieces in a game. The aftermath arrived with great speed. That afternoon, a knock echoed through the house, revealing the presence of social services, a caseworker with a stoic demeanor, and a deputy standing by. "We have received some concerns regarding the welfare of the minors in your home," the woman stated, her voice sharp and precise. Grace, lingering close, took hold of Lily's hand. Aurora, with a swift motion, sought refuge behind Samuel's leg. "They're safe," Samuel declared with a calm assurance, "more secure than at any point in the past." "That will be decided, Mr. Whitaker." The examination was thorough and probing. The girls underwent individual interviews, their room meticulously scrutinized, and even the items within the fridge and medicine cabinet were carefully recorded. Samuel responded to each inquiry with calm assurance, his voice steady and unwavering. Yet within, a fracture was unfolding. After a long wait, the woman reappeared. Delivering her decision, temporary clearance was granted, but a full investigation was still to come. As they departed, tears streamed down Aurora's cheeks. Lily sat rigid, her anger simmering just beneath the surface. Grace struck the arm of the couch with a decisive motion. "What compelled you to allow them entry?" she exclaimed with fervor. "They are coming to whisk us away." With a gentle grace, Samuel lowered himself to the ground. "I was left with no other option. Yet, your journey does not lead you away. I vow, such a promise is beyond your reach." Grace retorted, "Promises are often made by many, and then they depart." The room was enveloped in silence, until the gentle whisper of Aurora shattered the silence. "I beg you, don't allow them to take us away." Samuel felt a fissure in his heart, revealing depths of emotion he had never before encountered. "I shall not," he murmured. "Not in this moment, not at any time." The following morning, Samuel gathered his legal team and enlisted the help of a public relations strategist, not to safeguard his own reputation, but to shield theirs. He embarked on a mission to establish a foundation dedicated to supporting displaced youth, taking swift action by filing emergency motions to expedite guardianship through a medical urgency clause. Yet, the true surprise unfolded just a few days afterward. In the midst of a playful game of hide and seek, Samuel suddenly fell to the ground in the garden, his laughter echoing through the air as he played with Aurora. In a moment of sheer terror, the girls let out piercing screams. In a moment of urgency, the butler swiftly dialed 911. With urgency in their hearts, the paramedics whisked him away to the emergency room. In the sterile confines of the hospital, he drifted between the realms of awareness and oblivion. In a chilly hallway, Grace and Lily stood together, while Aurora clung tightly to his hand, her grip unwavering. As the clock struck midnight, the doctors worked their magic, bringing him back to a state of stability. The cancer had progressed, and the weight of stress loomed heavily. As Samuel stirred from his slumber, he found himself surrounded by the gentle forms of the three girls, each one nestled peacefully in their dreams around his hospital bed. With a feeble grasp, he extended his hand toward Grace. "I'm not finished yet," he rasped, his voice thick with determination. Grace stirred, her eyes alight with a mix of fear and defiance, ready to face whatever lay ahead. "Then you mustn't even think about giving up on us." And for the first time since his diagnosis, Samuel felt a flicker of life within him, as if the shadows that had loomed over his spirit were beginning to lift. He sensed a spark within him, a cause that ignited his spirit to stand and battle. In the stillness of the hospital room, the only sounds were the rhythmic beeping of monitors and the gentle breaths of three little girls, nestled in chairs, their blankets slipping from their tiny shoulders. Samuel lay in bed, frailer than he had ever been, yet his eyes were wide open, haunted not by the ache, but by a piercing clarity. For decades, his existence had been governed by figures, quarterly growth, user metrics, investment returns. Yet, in this moment, he found himself alone, with no familiar faces by his side. Just Grace, Lily, and Aurora. As the nurse approached to check his vitals, Samuel leaned in and softly requested, "Could you bring me something to write with?" As the clock ticked away, he found himself weaving the words of a new will into existence, not for the sake of his empire but for the safety of his beloved daughters. That word, daughters, it had nestled in his heart more swiftly than he had anticipated. It had transformed beyond mere gesture. It resonated with authenticity. As dawn broke and the girls stirred from their slumber, a delightful surprise awaited them, crafted by Samuel's thoughtful hands. "Today," he spoke softly, "I'd love to listen to your dreams." In a moment of bewilderment, their eyes fluttered open, revealing a haze of uncertainty. "I've crafted enterprises, developed applications, and launched satellites," he continued. "Yet, I've never woven a life together with another. Imagine, if you will, what does your life unfold like if the realm of possibility knew no bounds?" Lily was the one to break the silence. "I aspire to weave tales, enchanted tomes of wonder, enchantment and mythical beasts and such." Samuel beamed with delight. "I shall create a sanctuary for your words." Grace paused, caught in a moment of uncertainty. "I aspire to become a lawyer. Thus, no one shall ever remove individuals like us from their rightful place again. I shall procure for you the finest tutors in the land," he declared with unwavering confidence. Aurora held her sketchpad close, enveloped in a quiet stillness. "And what of you, Aurora?" Samuel inquired gently, as the little girl delicately turned the page. A charming drawing of a house came to life before her eyes. Not a grand estate. It is not a castle. In a warm and inviting home, three girls filled the space with laughter. while a loyal dog lounged nearby. In the kitchen, a man with silver strands in his hair skillfully flipped pancakes, creating a delightful scene of comfort and joy. Samuel felt a constriction in his throat. "Is that the vision you hold dear?" With a gentle nod, she acknowledged the moment. "I believe I can bring that to life." From that day onward, the mansion began its enchanting metamorphosis. Transformed from a cold stronghold, it blossomed into a vibrant realm filled with chaos and delight. The elegant dining room transformed into a bustling hub of learning and creativity. The game room transformed into a cozy reading lounge. Samuel embarked on a journey to therapeutic to confront the cancer, but to dismantle the emotional barriers he had meticulously constructed over 3 decades. He cooked clumsily, yet with passion. He listened clumsily, yet with keen interest. He let out a hearty laughterly. For the first time in many years, not every day unfolded flawlessly. Grace remained cautious. Lily was haunted by nightmares. Aurora wept when unfamiliar faces ventured too near. Yet, they were forging a familiar knot in a whimsical, storybook manner, but through genuine and varnished, transformative moments. Samuel ceased to glance at his calendar, no longer counting the days that remained. Instead, he observed the tapestry of memories they were weaving together, and gradually, he ceased to feel like a man racing against the clock, and began to sense the essence of a father discovering the true purpose of time. A month had slipped by since Samuel's fall, and miraculously, he remained with us, persevering through the struggle. Life continues to flow, and above all continuing to nurture as a father. One morning, as the warm steam of tea curled around him and he guided Lily through the edits of her debut short story, Samuel's assistant arrived, a spark of eager anticipation in their eyes. "A call from Zurich has arrived," she announced. "It's something you'll want to embrace." It was Dr. Annika Kruger, a celebrated oncologist whose groundbreaking work Samuel had once supported through a research grant. Her words flowed with a blend of expertise and a pressing sense of importance. "I've taken a closer look at your situation." In the stillness, Samuel's heart raced, echoing the weight of unspoken thoughts. "I can't promise a miracle," she continued, "but this is your greatest chance." The journey demanded a month in the serene landscapes of Switzerland, a period of strict solitude, and the burden of challenging side effects. With gratitude, he ended the call, his mind swirling with contemplation. As the sun dipped below the horizon, he gathered the girls around him. "A new opportunity has come my way," he started. "A different kind of treatment. Yet, it signifies that I must part from you for a time. Will it enhance your journey?" Grace inquired softly. "Perhaps. Perhaps not. Yet, it is a glimmer of hope." As the last echoes faded away, an air of stillness enveloped the room. With a gentle grace, Aurora rose from her seat, approached him, and softly laid her small hand upon his heart. "You must take the leap. We shall bide our time, but we shall accompany you," Grace declared with conviction. Samuel's smile glimmered, even as tears welled in his eyes. "No, it is essential for you to remain here, within the walls of learning, embracing the rhythm of daily life. Ms. Natalie is all set to join us full-time. You shall find safety." "Ah, but what of your own tale? What do you think?" Lily inquired. "I shall engage in battle," he murmured, "no longer solely for my sake but for yours as well, for the ones we hold dear." And then arrived the pivotal moment that solidified his determination. As the night deepened, Samuel discovered an envelope hidden beneath his pillow. Within lay 3 captivating drawings. Lily had illustrated a whimsical dragon sporting glasses, diligently typing away on a laptop. In a world of her own creation, Grace had sketched a courtroom, where her name proudly adorned the judge's bench. Aurora had sketched the familiar house once more, this time adorned with a garden, a playful dog, and a 4th little girl joining the scene. On the back, inscribed in playful block letters, were 5 words: "Return to US, where you belong." The following day, Samuel stepped onto a private jet bound for Zurich, not merely as a solitary billionaire, but as a devoted father driven by purpose. The experience of treatment was nothing short of a nightmare. The agony was intense, the queasiness unyielding. In the quiet of the night, he found himself wrestling with despair, the weight of his struggles pressing down on him. There were times when he felt like giving up, letting out his frustrations into the softness of his pillow, tears flowing in solitude. Yet, whenever he found himself at the edge of despair, he would unveil those sketches, and he recalled the one who awaited him. Upon returning home, the girls filled his days with daily voice messages of school adventures, culinary mishaps, and delightful jokes that brought laughter to his ears. Grace once declared, "Fear not, for I hold the reins now." Lily responded with a hint of mischief. "Oh, is that what you believe? And what of Aurora?" With a gentle smile, she declared, "I tend to your plans each day. Your absence is felt." And Samuel understood he wasn't battling to extend the span of his existence. He was striving to infuse their years with vitality. 3 weeks into the trial treatment in Zurich, Samuel Whitaker found himself perched by the window of his private recovery suite. His body felt frail, yet his mind was as sharp as it had been in years, brimming with thoughts and reflections. The agony lingered, the repercussions fierce, but he had endured the darkest moments. He gazed across the majestic Swiss Alps, yet his mind wandered far beyond the peaks, to the sun-kissed shores of California. Upon returning home, an extraordinary event was unfolding. Each day, Samuel found himself swept away by a torrent of messages from the girls, far beyond mere cheerful greetings. These were whispers of a greater truth beneath the surface. They were weaving their experiences into something profound. They were blossoming. Grace, who once wore her defenses like armor, had emerged as the guiding force of the household. With great care, she crafted meal plans, orchestrated their daily routines, and took the initiative to reach out to the school principal for additional resources for legal studies. "She claims I'm quite the challenge," Grace had typed in one message. Yet, I explained to her that I'm merely getting ready to embark on my journey as a lawyer. Samuel burst into laughter upon reading that. Lily, once a whirlwind of spontaneity, embarked on a journey of storytelling, crafting weekly installments of her enchanting fantasy novel that introduced readers to a dragon named Samuel the Brave. Despite his illness, Samuel remained a steadfast guardian of his beloved forest. Her signature graced each post with a flourish, in honor of Dad. For every hero, there is a beginning, and Aurora, gentle, quiet Aurora, had shared her voice on camera for the very first time during a school presentation. With a flourish, she unveiled her drawing of a dream home, weaving a vivid tapestry as she described each room in intricate detail. "In this room, my sisters and I immerse ourselves in the world of books. This tale is dedicated to pancakes. And this one," she said, gesturing toward a cozy sunroom tucked away at the back, "is where my dad enjoys his time." As the warm rays of the sun kissed his face, thus, he realizes he has returned to the place he belongs. The educator wept. Thus, the principal did as well. And thus, Samuel took his leave. From a distant land, he beheld a remarkable change not solely within himself, but also in the 3 young girls he had rescued from the streets. In that once desolate expanse, where he had believed love could never thrive, something beautiful had taken root and flourished. But they were not alone in this tale. Samuel had taken up the pen once more. Not code, not contracts, but letters, each one a whisper of thoughts and emotions, weaving a tapestry of connection and understanding. One for every girl, brimming with uncreated memories, guidance that may someday prove essential, and sentiments he wondered if he would ever express face to face. With the setting sun, he put pen to paper. Dearest Grace, in moments of despair, summon your strength and push forward with even greater resolve. Dear Lily, always keep your imagination alive. It's the way we transform the world. My dearest Aurora, you have shown me the essence of what it means to belong. On the 29th day of treatment, Dr. Kruger stepped into the room, her expression a mystery waiting to be unraveled. With a deep breath, Samuel steadied himself for what lay ahead. With a gentle curve of her lips, she smiled. The results show a remarkable 62% decrease in your tumor markers. It is indeed unfolding as intended. He blinked, taken aback. You haven't yet emerged from the shadows. She added, however, there lies an opportunity before you, a genuine one. Tears cascaded down Samuel's cheeks, not from fear, but from a wellspring of hope. For now, he was living not just for his own sake. He was gathering the strength to return home. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the landscape, a sleek black SUV glided to a stop in front of the house on Oak Ridge Lane. The front porch lights flickered to life, bathing the flower pots Lily had lovingly planted during spring break in a gentle, inviting glow. The atmosphere buzzed with a palpable sense of expectation. With a gentle creak, the car door swung open, and Samuel Whitaker emerged, taking his time as he stepped into the world beyond. Slender, more silvered, yet standing tall, full of life. 3 tiny figures darted through the front door just as the driver reached for the trunk. Father! The word struck Samuel with the force of a thunderclap, resonating deep within his heart. Grace was the first to arrive, enveloping him in a warm embrace that nearly sent him reeling. You promised you'd return, she murmured. You honored your promise. Lily wasted no time to leap to his other side, her tears cascading down her cheeks. Samuel the Brave returned to his homeland. And then, like a breath of fresh air, Aurora arrived. Softly, the serene Aurora rested her hand upon his heart, offering a knowing nod. With a gentle grace, Samuel knelt down, enveloping all 3 girls in a warm embrace, allowing the beauty of the moment to envelop him completely. They lingered in that moment, time stretching around them like a warm embrace. Within the confines of the house, the atmosphere felt transformed. The living room, once a quiet space, now buzzed with life, adorned by a vibrant bulletin board showcasing the creativity of school art. The couch, a tapestry of mismatched pillows, told a story of comfort and eclectic charm. A tantalizing aroma wafted through the space, a hint of sweetness mingling with the unmistakable essence of burnt cookies. It had lost its grandeur. No longer a mansion, it was a place where warmth embraced you. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the girls orchestrated a delightful surprise for Hema welcome-back dinner. That was a feast for the senses. The table was adorned with glittery placemats, and the aroma of overcooked pasta filled the air, while a cake proudly proclaimed, "You have emerged triumphant from our encounter and the land of Switzerland." Samuel erupted in laughter, so intense that he found himself needing to take a seat. Once the meal was finished, they convened around the flickering flames of the fire pit beneath the open sky. Lily gently offered him a blanket. With a gentle smile, Grace offered him a steaming cup of tea. Aurora nestled close to him and inquired gently, "Now that you're feeling better, what comes next?" Samuel gazed at them, the flames dancing in his weary yet spirited eyes. "In my earlier days, I believed that legacy was all about wealth." He started. Structures, enterprises, announcements. He took a moment, allowing a smile to spread across his face. "But now I understand. What we leave behind is a testament to our affection, and making an appearance, each and every day, even in the face of adversity." From the depths of his coat pocket, he drew forth 3 envelopes. "During my time apart, I penned a letter for each of you, just in case. My friend." Yet, I urge you to delve into these words now because I have journeyed through time to witness your transformation into the very individuals this world yearns for. Grace opened hers first. An emotion welled up within her almost instantly. Lily shared her tale with a chuckle, delighting in his clumsy dragon puns. Roar caressed the handwriting with her fingers as if it held a divine secret. As the flames flickered and faded, a palpable reluctance settled over the group, each person hesitating to step back into the shadows of the building. They nestled beneath the vast expanse of stars, entwined in a single, enormous blanket, resembling a constellation that the universe had overlooked and then tenderly reshaped. Samuel gazed up at the night sky and murmured, This is the essence of it all." He was uncertain of the time that remained for him not truly. Yet, for the very first time in his existence, he found himself unburdened by the passage of days. He was ensuring each moment held significance. Throughout our journey, we pursue significant marker stretches, acclaim, achievement, convinced that eventually, these will bring us the completeness we seek. But what lies beneath the surface? True fulfillment is not found in the cheers of the crowd or the digits in our wallets. It arises from the times we decide to be present for another. Samuel Whitaker had crafted a vast empire that reached the hearts of millions. But on that fateful day, the weight of his solitude loomed larger than all his achievements. Yet, as he welcomed 3 overlooked girls into his home and, more significantly, into his heart, something extraordinary unfolded. He opened his doors and welcomed them into a haven. A spark ignited within him, compelling him to rise and battle. They bestowed upon him a fresh understanding of true wealth, the bonds we forge, the bravery we embrace, and the kindness we share. And in the end, Samuel did not carve out another chapter in the annals of technology. He departed, leaving a legacy that transcended his time, a family bound by love, and a wave of compassion that would touch lives long after his presence faded. In a world that feels fractured, there are moments when the most impactful action you can take, it is a decision to embrace love for someone, regardless of the circumstances. One doesn't have to possess immense wealth to create a meaningful change. Each day, young souls slip through the gaps, orphans, foster children, runaway teens yearning not for riches, but for a single person to hold faith in their potential, to witness their presence, to remain in the tapestry of life. Each thread you weave by guiding a student, lending a hand at a shelter, nurturing a child, or simply offering an ear when silent rhymes can become a pivotal moment for someone in need. And what if you find yourself wandering in the shadows of uncertainty? Keep this in mind. Even in your most fragile moments, love still finds a way to embrace you, and you are never too late to transform into someone's miracle. Much like Samuel, you might find that altering the course of the world is beyond your reach. Yet, you hold the power to transform a single life. And that, on occasion, is the most transformative act of all.